No. Hello, my lovelies. Now, I hope we're live. I don't know, Shaun. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing this
I'm
first
watching
time.
it. I'm
Oh,
watching it.
it's great. It's gone live. So, here we are. So, that was interesting, wasn't it?
It was. You had a lot of people engaged there in the chat, and I think there was
Yeah.
almost 100 people watching it live simultaneously. That was really good.
Reformed prankster. Just noticed that now. If people see me suddenly looking to the side, it's because my monitor's just to the side here, but I look into the camera. And to warn people, right, I gave an indication of it in the live stream before, in the premiere. Bonzo decided to wake up just getting towards the end. He's going through his mega cough stage. He has stages. He'll be all right for weeks. Then he'll have 3 days of cough, cough, cough. So I put him in the living room, settled him down, and told him with me pointy finger, don't start trying to get me attention. It won't work, like, but we'll see what happens. Just have to get through it. Anyway, I can't even look at the comments because I'll have to, won't I? How
I
do you
can I
make?
can read them. So Mrs. X is saying, "Why did I say Callie had custody of her son?" To be honest, I don't ever remember using those words. I might have said she was reunited with her son. I can't remember saying she had custody of her son.
Oh, well, you see, the thing is, that's where I took from it. When you said custody, I took it as that will mean that she has him full time custody because
I never used the word custody. I said reunited with her son.
yeah, but people will naturally assume, won't they? That's what they'll do. They'll naturally assume
That's
that
what's
she's gone.
happened. Yeah, look by the
Yeah,
looks of it.
that's what's happened.
Do I drink the blood of virgins? I've got my Nosferatu cape behind me, but it is just a comedy prop. I do not work for the Illuminati. I do not engage in words that I can't say on YouTube. Andrino, the beginning of Andrino.
Oh, do you know that thing you're talking
Andrino.
about? You know that thing you're talking about, right? Let's get this out the way. I can't even remember what it's called, but you know this thing that they're supposed to take that you've just gave an indication of this liquid they get from children. That's been inspired by Monsters Inc., hasn't it? Isn't it? They watched Monsters Inc. where they frighten the kids to get this energy from them, and it's like, oh come on, is that where they're getting it from now? These conspiracy theories, they're watching cartoons and getting it from us. And the minute I heard about it, I thought they've got that from Monsters Inc. It's just absolutely mad.
Mrs. X is persisting here. Why did I make it sound like that Callie had just got her son back? So Callie was living a wild life of, well, you guys know what, and she hadn't seen her son in a while, and I was just excited that she was reunited with her son. If it was, it was for a short period of time, but I was just glad that it was a step towards stability. That's the way I viewed it. And I apologize if people misinterpreted that I was saying that she had custody. I believe that I don't know the legal situation, but I believe that her natural mother has the custody. Yeah.
Yeah. So anything else there? The United could have just met. Oh, I don't know. It's gone to. Oh, wait, oh, there's one. Where's this one? See, when you go over them, I am scared that I'm actually blocking them when I'm going over them. Here we are. Hi, Sean. You say in your book, Party Time, you hold qualifications in IT. What are they exactly? Have you studied practice more since?
I did never ever recall claiming to have qualifications in IT. I've got party time right behind me. If you want to tell me the page that that's on, I would love to read that because that's news to me. I've always claimed I've got knowledge of the stock market, business studies, economics. They have been my specialties since I was a kid.
Economics, oh, not one of mine. I couldn't stand it like that. Couldn't stand it. It was all English literature and English language for me.
Well, I was studying in Liverpool then under Sir Patrick Minford, who was Margaret Thatcher's chief economic advisor.
You said the word. You can't say that woman's name into a scout session.
Ding dong.
Good God, can't say that. Yeah. What else we got here? So
Do I
anyway,
do I steal rare bird eggs from nests? as a sideline. I actually feed the birds.
Oh yeah, you were saying, and you've got what else have you got
I've
there?
got bird feeders out back. I've got massive 20-kilogram bags of what they call sunflower hearts I put in the bird feeders. So I feed the birds and the squirrels, and it's nice to be connected to nature.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? We
It
have
is.
feral cats where I am, and oh, you wouldn't go near them though.
Really?
Big, oh, the huge things, and if you corner any of them, especially if they've got kittens, God, they'd have you,
We've
they'd have
got
your face off.
wild badgers like this big. Oh yeah.
You have to be careful of them though. Very, very careful. They carry diseases, don't they? They don't. They carry tuberculosis.
I don't know. I tried to
Yeah,
hand
I'm
feed,
sure
I tried
they
to
do.
hand feed this fox lately, but it ran off into the trees.
See, as long as you don't touch a fox. Now, I heard that from the RSPCA when it's in the police. Foxes have distemper. What in the old days we called distemper, don't know what it's called now. They can give it to domestic dogs, so they always say don't encourage them round by you. They carry on the paws, apparently. So you keep them away from you. See anything else? Well, this is what was that one? Where is it? Oh, that's a good.
That might constitute cyberbullying violation.
So anyway, you've got some interesting things coming up, haven't you? Some collaborations, and so talk us through them.
Okay, do you want me to answer the questions or go on to the collabs?
Do a bit of both, because I think they're taking time, aren't they? The questions coming through.
I can see a few here. How much did I pay my lawyer to get the YouTube channel back up?
You didn't, did you?
So it didn't have to go to the legal level. It was the kindness of the viewers and subscribers lobbying YouTube on Twitter was one part of it. The lawyer, we did have a appeal drafted up that all my advisors looked at. So that was part of it. And we had to, agree not to go down certain roads in the future. That was part of it. So I believe those three things are what saved the channel. Huge thank you to the people who contacted Twitter.
So you have to be very, very careful on YouTube now with what you discuss, and that's why I must say I was surprised, but yeah, I thought it was fascinating to watch. You were talking about a certain church, controversial church, and I thought, you're taking a risk with that. I don't know, but it was fascinating to watch. I was surprised that the young man that you're talking to, you've had him on your show before, that he's been taken down by YouTube.
The young man I've had on has been taken down.
The one
there's so many been taken down. The co-host on that Scientology video.
Well, don't say that word. I don't want them coming after me, Shaun.
We've not had any problems with that word.
Oh, I don't know. I don't mention them. I don't.
Okay.
But it was absolutely fascinating. But also, I wonder if that's going to cause any problems for you.
Do I have alopecia? Is that something to do with losing your hair?
Yeah.
Well, my eyebrows are still there. I did have a unibrow, and I got the laser treatment on that. I got the laser treatment on my hairy back. I had 4 treatments, but then the SWAT team came, and the woman who was doing my treatments, she actually said to me, "Do you want me to do your bum?" And I said, if I ever get arrested, that's my line of defense right there. If I go to jail with all the stuff that goes on in the jails.
Oh,
and then the SWAT team came and I got arrested, so it was fortuitous that I declined her offer.
Do you know what? That's a lovely conversation, isn't it? Isn't it a lovely conversation? No more of that filth. But you've got alopecia, because usually what happens with people with alopecia, it comes out in chunks. But if you just got a receding hairline, it gradually goes back. But
I wish I did have alopecia, because I'm going to have to go back to the laser people, I think, to get the back sorted out.
Yeah. But whatever you like, that's it.
As Shazza says, why don't I sue Darren for calling you certain things? And like I stated in the interview, it's not the person who says the things that's liable, it's the publisher of the information that's liable. I'm sorry, it's both. Darren obviously doesn't have any resources. I believe that he was getting used by the publisher. So it is the publisher is the sole person left in the lawsuit now.
Do you know, there's one in, I don't know what the hell they're going on about. Something about someone mixed race, I haven't got it. I don't know, I haven't got a clue what they're going on about, sorry.
I have no idea what that means.
I don't know whether they're being funny or whether they've just got it wrong going on, sorry about this. But anyway, yeah, so you should have... Oh, do you know what? See what you've started now? See what you're all talking about? Bodily parts now. Oh,
hairy backs.
No, not hairy backs. Lower down. What you?
Well, you know, I've got sponsored by Manscaped now, so there's a solution.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What's this one? Who's? Do you know what? I'm not even bothering with rubbish like that. If they put in stupid things, I'm not absolutely. You know, we're all adults. You don't need to go into stuff like that.
Mrs. X, who brings filth into his podcast? And can you give an example of that? If you're referring to me, we've exposed filth, but you know, I don't know what you mean by bringing filth into it.
No, what is this? Some of your guests in the past used to be very used to be, you know, really horrible things they used to describe. Wouldn't say filth, but things they describe would be a bit like, ooh.
True, they've been through some harrowing situations.
Yeah.
What is my thoughts on the potential imminent huge financial crisis in the US? So actually, yes, that is the area that I've studied throughout my life. And if you look at the stock market, it's riding high in America. And the stock market is usually a barometer of trouble. So the stock market will get hit if there's going to be some imminent economic trouble. So right now it's riding high. They've kept interest rates low because of the thing that's going around the world. And that's driven the stock market up. But there's lots of debts, there's lots of unemployment, and all that stuff does have to wind down at some point. The debt bubble will burst at some point.
Hey, well, this gentleman's or lady has just clarified what she's saying.
Oh, okay. So, you know, there was a lot of backstory to what was going on around the time of the prank that I didn't elaborate on at that time. And one of those things was this person that CD had met in Brighton who was going on computers and enticing pedos for some scam they had set up. And hence the outfit that she was wearing.
So that's that one. Yeah, because I was wondering, I couldn't get the mixed race bit, but then I suddenly heard. Someone's just asked me why I've deleted someone's comments, and they've got the wrong one. I did not delete this one. I deleted another one where someone's being funny. They've been funny in the previous one. And just let's put this way, I'm a campaigner against cyberbullying. I'm going to merrily and quite happily delete anyone that I think isn't asking a genuine, bona fide question.
Well, it's okay. It's okay to have a bit. It's okay to have a bit of fun, though, isn't it?
But it's not fun. They're just being absolutely rude, and I won't tolerate it. And that's it. And they know what I'm like. They know if they want to come on here, they're going to get blocked.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it.
So we won't be getting any questions from Chance or Easy then.
No chance. If they came on, they'd just be blocked immediately. They don't see this is the freedom of speech that they go on about. In other words, the freedom to offend and all this business, which is really the freedom to really upset and try to destroy people's mental health and all that. Here we are. Here he is. He's going.
Party time. There we go. Page 13. Oh, that was when I was in high school. Yeah, I was programming my Atari 400 to do little computer games. That was just for my personal use. So as a kid, I was torn between going into the stock market or going into computer programming. And that's why I did, by the time I got to college, sixth form, I chose A-levels, maths, physics, and economics. to keep both of those career paths open. But by the time I'd finished my A levels, I went off to university. I knew then it was going to be the stock market. But yeah, as a kid, I was doing some computer program. I had a ZX Spectrum. I had an Atari 400. I mean, these are really basic computers from the 1970s when I was growing up. And I had various computer magazines that, that taught me to program and stuff like that. Just in basic as a kid. Nothing. It would probably be completely outmoded if I tried to do anything on computer programming today. I wouldn't understand any of it.
Just when you think of the two from the same area, aren't we? I'm Liverpool. I got you wrong, dude. You're from Chester, aren't you? Or away from Chester?
Cheshire.
Cheshire, sorry. What am I?
Widnes, Cheshire.
Yeah, Widnes. That's it. I got it wrong the other day. Yeah. But there's you doing all that, and when you were doing all that, there's me standing by a bar practicing me ballet all the time. Two completely different lives, Someone asked me something and I just told her.
My sister was a ballet dancer at that period of time, and she was going to dance school with Sporty Spice.
Oh, Sporty Spice?
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's a good, I say to anyone, if you've got a child and you want to learn them discipline and learn them how to really get up stamina and endurance, put them into ballet. The problem only comes if they go into the job of being a ballet dancer full time when they get old enough, a teenager, to do it, because that's when the hard work really starts. Anyway,
they have such good posture. People who do ballet have such good posture. Yoga people. A lot of yoga people.
The only problem is, I say, when you do it professionally like I did, you move on and you go to do it as a professional job. There's consequences as you get older. I have it now. I won't go into all of them, but your joints, it's not a natural way of moving, and because you have to be like at an athletic standard to do it, your body later on starts showing the signs where you've damaged yourself. So I get it now sometimes. I'm in agony with me knee and my feet. And my back.
Cheesy wants an update on Callie. Is she still working the trade? Am I still in touch with her? So I've always been in touch with her, helping her from behind the scenes. And she is now living in the countryside. She's got a solid place where she's living at. There's nothing dodgy going on there. And her son has been staying with her. And she's got her ponies. And she's off, you know what. And she's doing really well as far as, she's been telling me. So power to her for turning her life around.
I thought, what's that? Oh, I won't ask about it because it's a legal thing, isn't it? I was going to just ask something then, but never mind. Anyway, I'll ask this lady's just asked something before. Dear Anne, have you thought about writing a book about your life as an insects person? Love you both and so glad to see you working together. Do you know what? It would be the most boring book ever. It would be. Everything was regimented and routine in my life, and you couldn't just... It was hidden. In other words, for the first 50 years of my life, it was hidden that it was insects. And so for the first 50 years, no one knew. So there'd be nothing to write about. It certainly wouldn't be. You wouldn't get a bestseller out of that, I can tell you now.
Have you seen this one from Talana? I need some serious advice. I'm having trouble with hems.
Oh, I know.
Have you ever had this problem? So, considering all these videos are out there stating that I absolutely love to take it in that fashion, you'd think I would have had some kind of injuries down there. But I've got to admit that these videos are much exaggerated. I put some videos out saying I'd dated some women who tried to expand things down there. But I'd come away from that feeling like violated.
Do you know what? I've got this. Where am I? Oh my God. Oh yeah, that instance. You know what I couldn't get about? Can I ask you something about that, Shaun? Right?
Yes.
Do you know the person you're talking about there that was adventurous with you?
Yes.
She was the one who gave me the website.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're back with it. I couldn't work that out. Because she, remember, I kicked off at it. That's when I thought, you cheeky. She sent me an email. Oh, it's all right. I'm back with Shaun now. And I thought, don't, because I sent it to you as well, didn't I? I said, don't you dare, madam, make out that I'm behind what you're doing. Like she was saying that we were a partnership. That's what I took from it. And so writing back with children, I thought, well, wait a minute, why the hell would you get back with her after she did all that? Or she set up the groundwork for it.
So I've promised her I'm not going to say anything else about her.
Oh yeah, she's all right, isn't she? She's bolted since she's she set her in motion. She's bolted, hasn't she? Yeah, ran away. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Oh, what have I done? I've hit the wrong. Was it? Hey, is she still experiencing harassment from the podcasters? That must be about Callie.
She's not online, Callie, is she now? She's living with nature, and she's just doing stuff with her son and the animals. So, this online stuff, it's a different world, isn't it?
Yeah, I
For some
think
people.
it can be vicious. It can be absolutely vicious when it goes on.
Yeah, I think it's for her own mental health. It's good for her to detach from this now.
Let's see, what's this one? Do you know what? Some people you can't work out what this. They really want to get their communication skills because you can't work out what they mean when they're saying something. Someone else, I think it's. I don't. Well, I'll read it out. Can't be bothered putting it up. What Anne is wearing is similar to that Ronald McDonald in the background. Is that done on purpose? That doesn't even make any logical sense to me. You can't work out what they're asking.
People keep sending me Ronald McDonald's for some reason.
I haven't got a clue. It's just like, if I can understand it, I'll answer it, but I can't understand it.
As if it were a crime scene.
Yeah. Here we are. Anyone come. Well, I want to hear A1000's questions, as long as it doesn't get intense.
Don't you know the significance of the McDonald's tallying a point 2?
No? What's that? What is it?
It's the podcast wars, isn't it?
Ronald McDonald. Don't get it.
Well, I'm de-escalating that situation, so I probably shouldn't get into convictions.
Oh, here we are. Someone said here they've explained it. I couldn't work out what they were going on about.
Yeah.
I get it now. I see now. You've got a little thing in the background.
Yeah.
I get it. I see it now. Oh, that's a cute little thing, isn't it? But so throw something out there, Shaun. Come on. Because
okay, so when is this Buzz Tech one on your channel? Tomorrow at 7 a.m. and Anne doesn't approve, so probably
I don't.
Move on from that.
No, wait a minute. No, you're not going to move on from that, right? This isn't just you giving it all gob, right? Just let's tell people, right, because people think that, it's all dandy and everything, that I agree with everything you're doing. No, I can assure you, when I heard about Buzz Techs, I was not happy. I don't like the man. Just let me leave it at that. I don't like his methodology. So I'll leave it at that much. Certainly, I won't be tuning in to watch any of his stuff.
Well, there's a follow-up question there. I don't think these auditors are doing it for the money. I'm going to say, what money? What money do you get running up and down the country with expensive camera equipment, filming people? I think people don't understand how much it costs to produce content. It's a cost.
Yeah. But it's whether it's worth it, what's happening, it's, are they doing it and that's worth it? I'm sorry, going into these auditors and they'll stand outside the police station. Oh, you don't know that we can film. Oh my God, isn't that horrendous? The police officer doesn't know that. And another thing they'll do, I say, go in demanding a hard copy of paste, and because the officers don't have a hard copy of paste, that's real crime. I mean, it really just makes Hillsborough look totally insignificant, and real stuff like that, corruption. If they were doing corruption, I could understand, but it's not. It's just going out there, being an absolute pain, and not giving a damn what member of the public they're catching into the drama and filming and putting a camera in the face. As long as we see his face, is the camera going to be turned on him when you're going out filming with him?
No, because he doesn't.
Oh no, because he doesn't want his face shown. It's all right for him, but he doesn't mind showing the faces of the public, does he? Oh no, I'll get off that subject because you can tell I don't like him. I don't like these auditors. I don't like them at all. Here we are. I'm trying to find some here. Here we are. What's this one? They get the donations for travel.
They get donations and ad revenue. But Mrs. X, you got to get 100,000 views to get 100 quid back off YouTube. So, for example, with my podcasts, it cost me about 500 quid to film a podcast. I've got to get 500,000 views just to cover that cost. So nearly all my podcasts lose money. But people think you're a millionaire off it. It's hard work.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, you have to have either a sponsor that's giving you money or some backup somewhere, because the money just doesn't come in, does it?
Well, that's it. Since we lost the channel twice and lost half our videos, our ad revenue now is below our podcast costs. So fortunately, these sponsors have stepped up to enable us to keep filming.
Yeah.
And the kindness of the Patreons as well.
So you've got that coming up. You've got what else have you got coming up? You've got, what's Mr. Fish? What are you doing with Mr. Fish?
All right, so I'd like to get Mr. Fish and Tug of War in the same room. That'd be a good one. We've got Wild Woman Part 2 getting filmed in October. We've got Stephen Graham coming on tomorrow night at 6. It's 3.25 hours, I think. And he was in the same Jamaican prison as Tug of War. Yeah. But he wasn't in the foreign national side. He's in the local side, which is even more brutal. So that's coming out tomorrow night. Then we got Blink Part 2 as well. No, Part 3 with Ian Blink MacDonald.
Do you remember that fella that was that ran to Russia, John
Mark Duggan?
John Mark Duggan. Have you heard from him since? Never heard from him again.
Yeah, he came on Attwood Unleashed and did a little bit explaining how he's been. And he's just sent me some information on Skype. He's got a new project that he wants to keep secret, but when it pans out, he wants to come back on. Yeah,
because that was...
BuzzTech reckons Alex Belfield is on 50,000 per month. I can tell you right now whether that's true or not by looking at Social Blade. Alex Belfield. He is doing good numbers, Alex.
Oh, he's doing very good numbers for as long as it lasts. But
I don't think it's going to last.
No, he knows damn well he's going to be kicked off. See, what he's doing is, and this is a really snotty saying from the theatre, but I'll say anyway, he'll understand. He's playing to the cheap seats, in other words. He's going for the lowest domination and going for that, he's just out there to... He's like trying to be a Katie... What's the name? Katie Hopkins.
His numbers are absolutely off the scale.
Oh, yeah. But he'll be stopped soon enough.
He's getting almost 30 million views a month. The most I've ever had is 10 million views a month. That was the month of the prank. And he's consistently getting that now. And he's getting like almost 1 million views a day. Almost 1 million views a day.
Oh,
so if this stuff is monetized, we've got to know whether this stuff is monetized or not. So his monthly is anywhere from 3,000 to 40,000 for the last month.
Yeah.
But that depends on how many videos he's got monetized.
This is it. He's given people what they want, and that's it. But the only shame about it is that he's excluded people as well. I don't know. He uses terminology, right, and you think, nah, you're off there. And I don't know why he's done that. He's like a 19th... I remember those. You remember the 70s.
A bit Benny Hill.
Well, not even Benny Hill. Benny Hill was a good laugh. And, he didn't offend anyone, Benny Hill. He was more like the really... That really... Oh, do you know... That like chase me and all that business. Stuff like that, which for the time was accepted. But we've moved on since then. We've moved on since doing that. And I think
Jelly Wobblers and things like that. Focusing on Jelly Wobblers a lot. We've got a serious question coming in from TG. Well, Shaun, you were spoken to over things mentioned in a video. Did your previous criminal record make things worse for you? Will you be able to have your history removed from your record? All right, so yes, I was called into the police station twice over the activist video that we did with Sonia and Sonia mentioned names of kids in a court-ordered case of abuse, which is a violation of the law, which I was unaware of. But as the publisher, I was liable.
Yeah.
So myself and Sonia were co-defendants in that case. I don't know what Sonia's outcome has been, but my outcome is I've had to accept the caution, and I've had to agree to certain terms, including I can't report on certain abuse cases anymore. That's been ordered to me now by the police, the UK police.
Yeah, because they're protected as they.
But my criminal record in America did not seem to come into play in that occasion, because I don't actually have a criminal record in this country, but I do have an Interpol record that prevents me from travelling to many countries.
Yeah, they will do, especially with involves drugs.
So I've been, don't mind, but you've been charged over child protection police, can you? So that's the situation I just explained. So it was the activism. It was a podcast with Sonia that we both got charged for by the police. And I was charged by the Crown Prosecution Service. I wasn't charged by child protection. I was charged by Crown Prosecution Service. And I was interviewed by a child protection officer. And that child protection officer, seeing that I was an activist, was shocked and surprised that I'd been gone after over this. And I was sat on the opposite side of the table from him because we were all on the same mission together, and he supported the work that I did.
So what's the mission? Just explain what your mission is.
Well, the mission's had to change, hasn't it, Anne? Because the mission was to go full out and expose certain things that I'm no longer allowed to expose, because we were so effective at exposing and reporting on those cases that we got banned from doing so. 60 million views on those cases.
Yeah, but do you know, it is a complex one, and I've had this out with you before about, you know, the things that you were talking about. To me, at times, it just went, as Wildman said, doing the Icarus thing too close to the sun. And it was getting very, very close to libel as well in a lot of them. You thought, wait a minute, this is just going too far. And also, it's the easy pickings as well. They were all big names. Where really, it needs to be, where I've said it needs to be balanced, because we've had this before. You know, all this VIPs in Parliament and all this business. Extra News did that, and they've been ruined by it. They were totally ruined by it, because it starts a shark feeding frenzy, and I could see this happening at the time. And it just goes into total madness. Then you get people coming out the woodwork, and you can't believe what people are saying half the time. It's like they're just out for attention.
I can't discuss the WW case, because that's a situation that's going to get me in trouble.
Oh no! No one can discuss. Your best, you can discuss you can't, but you can discuss what's happened. Or I could discuss what's happened in the case, but you can't. You couldn't, because you
caution.
It won't. Yeah.
In terms of the caution,
can't do it at all. And you couldn't even appear on this show if we started discussing that.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'll just put that up there. Just let's put that, people. It's not that Shaun's avoiding questions. He's in the situation. Even if I started discussing it on this podcast now, he'd have to exit it. He couldn't be here.
I'm legally gagged.
Yeah. So he couldn't do that. He couldn't appear on here talking about it.
Did you see that one from Heather? Do you or Anne or Shaun have a best piece of advice for anyone experiencing cyberbullying, stalking, doxing, based on your experience?
Well, Heather, I know Heather. She communicates with me on Facebook, and she's been getting a lot from the same people we're getting. Just do what I did, Heather. The person, the American podcasters, tried to get on here twice. I've just blocked them on the first appearance. The minute I see that they're blocked, same will happen to anyone else.
Was he the fake Callie Diamond today? The American?
No, he's just appeared in this. He's come up with his proper channel, and he's been blocked. Going on about this racism thing.
He's just appeared on our chat right now.
No, before. I blocked him twice. He tried. And
what was his name?
What is, the wit thing.
Oh, yeah.
But
he's watching this then. Shout out.
But he's not as safe. That's what you do, sweetheart. You don't go I say not engaging with them. You can engage with them, but you've got to be strong enough that if it suddenly turns on you, that they do. But he's just going on about this racist thing. I'm sorry, I'm not the one that used the N word. I'm not the one that sketched Japanese people. I'm not the one that was horrified and absolutely offended beyond anything when someone thought he was an African American. He was horrified by that very thought. So he's got a cheek calling anyone, racist, but goodbye to bad rubbish. He's not going to be here.
Too extreme, didn't he? Calling for people to saying it was 100% that people could kill me on the streets and things like that. That's just too extreme.
He's unbalanced.
Some of his stuff was funny, and it humoured me. But if he'd have just kept it at a level of genuine criticism instead of ridiculous conspiracies and perverted, false narratives, he'd probably still have a channel.
Yeah. But here's a good one. I've just read this already.
Make a song out of that, W.I.T. Make a song out of that, W.I.T. Who are you?
Hey, what about this one? Sure. This sounds like a good one. John Åkantstrom, is that a Norwegian name? Nordstrom. Shaun has had on guests who has later turned out to presented false stories, like the guy who said he fought 5 Aryan Brotherhood by himself. Do you feel that you could do better background checks?
Johan, you're referring to Jamie Morgan Kane, and that was my first taste of getting doxed and dogpiled and trolled and hacked and everything. It was really intense, and I did stop his GoFundMe, believing the backlash was true. And then guess what happened? Jamie Morgan Kane took hundreds of pages of documented legal paperwork to Mirror Group Books, who I hooked him up with. Mirror Group Books validated his story. I just spoke to Jamie Morgan Kane the other day, and they're about to do his second book. Yeah. This is what happens. You think you listen to know-alls online and you stop a GoFundMe because these know-alls are so forceful, and they're telling you this is a fake thing, and it's not even a fake thing. It's a bloody lynch mob, and that's what taught me not to listen to lynch mobs.
I know, because I know you said to me, I've noticed that with you, that big change. It's like I said, I won't mention the name, but someone else you're collaborating with, and I said, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't that, and you said to me straight away, where's your evidence, where's this? I can understand your name asking it that. Is there any more here that you're interested in?
Can the Scottish and the American trolls show me handing fake paperwork to the landlord's wife, or whatever you want to classify it? That's one of the things they constantly harp on about. Can they show me doing that? It's just a false narrative they put out there.
Do you remember when that was funny. James,
can they show me dressing her up like that? Another false narrative they put out there. But what they do use is my apology video I did when Sonia grilled me, and I was told by the live stream company just to admit to everything, don't smile, say you're sorry, and we're going to hire you back. And I was duped into saying things I shouldn't have said on that video. And they weave that into these other things, just like the Scottish podcast I did recently, to make me out to be this really bad person.
What I've got to say there, right, is that I've spoken to the person you're talking about, and I am in contact with him, and he does have a different version of events. So I'll just point that out. In fairness to him, Shaun, he has, and that company do have a different version of events. They don't quite see it that way, but I'll just leave it at that.
God, I wish I'd have recorded that call when they told me to do exactly what I just said.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was on speakerphone, and guess who heard it? Who was with me? Kelly. She heard it, and she heard the Scottish podcast that was also on speakerphone after the prank. When the Scottish podcaster called me and said how much he loved the prank and it was a great thing to do and everything else.
Oh, wait, we are. It's nice. Now this is an intelligent commenter, I say. Shaun, would you ever consider Anne as an advisor to help you keep your channel going and running smoothly?
She's an advisor. I've been asking.
I know.
Questions
you don't ask me.
Cyberbullying. When I have cyberbullying issues, Anne is my go-to person.
But you don't have to ask me for advice. I throw that advice at you, don't I?
Yeah.
And so it's like steam in there now. It's like,
It's much
oh God, did I?
appreciated.
But I say to myself, say, God, did I have to say it like that? I can be tactless, can't I, when I start? People don't know how I come at you sometimes. It's really full force, isn't it? And
It
I
is.
feel so embarrassed after it.
It's okay. After Arizona jail, anything's okay.
Just like,
We did do a podcast together, nice. It's on my channel. We've done 2 now on my channel.
oh, with me, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And we'll be doing others about cyberbullying and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, we have done it. This one you're talking to, you two should do a podcast. I think what they're talking about is like you have people on and you have a guest one talking. And it's like,
Johan's pointing something out here. By keeping talking about CD and the prank, you're giving the trolls what they want. No, I agree, and it was laid to rest. But what happened was, it was only at the troll level. And then 3 weeks ago, the Scottish podcaster took it to the main channel level, and 300,000 people watched that video within a matter of weeks. So I had to re-explain and apologise all over again to a lot of people, and hence I'm here today, and hopefully this is going to lay it to rest again.
well, that's it. You can only do so much. Then you have to say, "Oh, sorry, I'm not apologising again," because people will carry on and carry on and carry on with it.
And
So,
I do appreciate Anne giving the opportunity to address people's concerns. And if anyone does have any general concerns that are not addressed at this point, please put them in the chat right now. If there's any questions at all about the Daddygate situation, please put them in the chat
that's
right
it.
now.
This is the time to get it down.
We'd like to clear everything up.
But what they do, and this one saying, what people do is they put it in the right way. Making it obvious that the trolls or whatever, they're going to be blocked. I'm not going to even stand for it. That's why I won't have the American podcaster in here and why I've kicked him out. And people say, freedom of speech. If he wants freedom of speech, he can go elsewhere. But
I'll tell you what, one of the funniest parts of the whole saga, and was when the American troll was interviewing cameraman James, and then that guy just came on the phone screaming, "Who are you?"
I was going to say that, Sean, that before. That made me... And I must say, the way the American podcaster handled it, actually, I admired him for it, because he started laughing. He went, "What the hell was that?" And that was the funniest. It just came out of the blue. And the two of them are giving each other as good as they get.
Brother?
And then it was like, you could tell he was totally like, where did that go? It was just like, what the hell was that? That was funny.
Who are you, brother?
Here's one. You want to know about
Well, there has been some funny moments.
There has been some.
American troll, hasn't there?
Yeah.
Why did you go too far and spoil it?
What go to? Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Hey, C. Worthington is asking, where are you sleeping with Callie?
No, and many of the women who go
wait a minute,
through... Whoops!
Hey, I'll have to mute me. Just let me mute me microphone, okay?
Oh, goodness. The photo of us, where we will look like we're about to kiss, was released as part of the prank. We released that. And Callie prefers women. And you find that many women who have gone through abuse or sex work, and I've seen men at their worst if they've been involved in sex work. They've seen all the really scummy things that go on in the world. Many of them don't trust men, and they end up in relationships with women. And I've found that with several of the females that I've talked to about.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just need to ask something. It's Mohammed on the phone. Are
Okay.
you okay with him coming into the chat?
Absolutely.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll just...
You're muted right now. You're muted, Anne.
Hey, Sean, what we're going to do, Mohammed's on the phone now. I hope
Okay.
you'll be able to hear this. So,
Yeah.
I'll unmute now. So, go on, Mohammed. You go ahead.
Yeah, Sean, can you hear me?
Yes, Mohammed, how's it going?
Yeah, he can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Sean. Well, I can't hear Sean.
Hey, well, can you? Hey, well, if I put
You should
me,
turn the volume up.
hey, well, what is? I've got on headphones. Go on, Sean.
Okay.
Speak now.
Go for it.
Sean, how are you?
Yeah, really good. Everything's going really good. How's things going for you?
Well, I'm only going to make a small point for you. I watched the Geordie podcast, and you made some accusations on there. Obviously, it's innuendo, but pretty much everybody knows who you're talking about, BNT and me. I think you need to stop. This is my advice to you now, because I've watched Shaun Ann's interview. You need to stop suggesting that I forced you to do anything or told you to tell lies or confess to anything. I told you to tell the truth and everything will be fine.
All right, so I'm going to call Callie Diamond right now and get her on the phone. And she heard exactly what you said to me. This is live. I'm not going to give her any advance notice. I'm going to ask her to say what you said to me. Are you okay with that?
Anne, can you translate that? Because I can't hear him hardly.
What he's saying is he's going to get in touch with Callie Diamond now to have her confirm what was said over the phone.
Over the phone?
When,
Sean can confirm it crystal clear on the phone to you now. I never once told him to tell any lies or confess to anything that he hasn't done. I simply told him to tell the truth and things will be fine. What we didn't realise is what that truth was as it unfolded, because it was live. So obviously, the more that came out, the more dramatic and obviously shocking it was for us. We had to look at all that situation. But to go around and suggest that I or BNT, or when he suggests there, when he talks about there, is he talking about other people besides me and BNT, suggesting that in any way he was set up and stitched up is not true, and he needs to stop saying that. Now, I can only be as fair as that, Anne. I can only say, listen, stop saying it. It's not true. I'm here now telling you. It's not true. Shaun was asked to tell the truth, not make anything up or make things worse for himself. The level of truth he came out with, I was almost falling off my chair. So he cannot go around saying that we promised him to tell the truth and then he will come back. It's nonsense. Everything developed as it came out. It was live.
so we've got a response to that, Sean.
Yeah, so I'm going to call Callie Diamond right now. And let's see what she says the actual conversation was, shall we?
Now, Shaun needs to tell me what he personally wants to clarify. Callie coming in as a third party. Shaun can clarify right now.
Hello?
Where did I
Can you
promise
Callie?
this? Where did I make him or tell him to tell
Hey, I've
lies
got
or not tell the
Mohammed.
truth or make things
I've got
up or admit
Mohammed
to everything?
live on a live
Where did I
stream
say
right
that to
now.
him?
Can you just tell? Can you just tell the public
There's going to be
what
different
conversation you heard with me and Mohammed?
And are you getting the flavour of what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I can understand what you're saying.
What did
It's irrelevant what anybody says.
what did
Shaun
BNT
to
tell
stop
me that you heard on speakerphone?
untruths about. I'm making it crystal clear. He was told to tell the truth, and that's that.
With the back of
truth
the
came
song and
out.
stuff, yeah.
It was more shocking than we ever imagined. We had to reassess everything. He wasn't told to say things that aren't true.
They said in the
He wasn't stitched up.
Hold on a second.
Short break.
Can you repeat that? Repeat that now.
They said that you'd get a short break and then you get your job back.
Keep
I can't
going.
hear that.
You do
What
the
else did they say?
videos. You have to do what they say and do the apology videos and confess to everything
And I get my job
and
back.
take the blame. Yeah. You had a cooling off period and then you get your job back 2 months later.
And you heard that 100% when he called, didn't you, on speakerphone?
Yeah, I was in the room.
All right, really appreciate that. I'll call you back later. Thank you for confirming that. Thank you.
No, she's not. I don't know where she is now.
There you go, Anne. 100% verified by someone else who heard the conversation.
But, Shaun, you're not verifying anything, Shaun. You just got somebody on the phone saying something. You're making accusations about me, and I'm on the phone right now telling you what happened.
That
And
was a
secondly,
live. That was a
we
live
wasn't
call
intended
with
to bring you
someone
back,
who
and
had
you know
no.
that. I even gave you the title of the show that would bring you back on.
That was a
Shaun
live
Unleashed,
call.
which you've happened to have used now. But did we ever imagine what would come out in that interview that none of us, me or anybody on BNT, knew anything about. So it's common sense, Shaun. It's common sense, but I don't know what you're getting out of spreading that you was tricked. It's a very serious issue, and you need to stop doing that. If you're going to insist on that, on Anne Shaw, and on that live stream, if you were going to insist that I tricked you, then you need to stand by that, Shaun. You need to stand by. The accusation you're making is Mohammed Butt of Brand YouTube tricked Shaun Attwood into admitting things he did not do, or did not want to admit, and hence was not let back on, although he had guarantees to come back on no matter what the issue was. You need to make that statement clear, then we can address it. If you want to stand by that, then you address it.
You're trying to trick me right now into agreeing with what you just said for a legal situation that will go against me. So I'm not going to agree with what you just said. I'm not going to comment on it. All I'm going to do is say that what Callie said right now, 100%, she heard that conversation. She repeated exactly what I had said on True Geordie. She had no prior knowledge I was going to call her. I didn't even know you were going to come on today. And that right there proves exactly what was said to me.
Shaun.
And what was said to me was not what you just said. You're trying to get me to agree to something so you can create a legal situation.
I know, Shaun, I can't, because it's difficult. I'm having to sort of because Mohammed can't hear you all that well through the headphones, but just put that in a short sentence. What I'm getting from it is that you're saying that you're not going to agree to what? Or something legal? If you could put it in a shorter sentence.
He's trying to get me to agree to what he's saying. And he's put it in a legalistic way whereby if I agree to it, he's going to use this video in court against me.
What Shaun's saying is he's not going to basically make any statement now, because it could end up, you could turn round and use it against him in a court case of prosecution.
Right, what Shaun needs to understand, and I'm giving him every opportunity right now, he's already defamed me by innuendo. He's made it crystal clear. He's talked about the show. He's talked about the presenter. It's crystal clear in any liable court of law that he's talking about Brand YouTube and me. What I'm trying to say, cutting all that rubbish out, is if you're making the accusation that I tricked you, or I told you to say things that you didn't need to say or wasn't correct in order to get back on BNT, then he needs to make that statement clear he's referring to me. If he wants to stand by that, and I'm telling him it's not true, absolutely not true, what he's saying, then I'm here on the phone, you know it's me, you know who I'm talking about, you know I'm talking about Shaun. Shaun needs to make it clear, instead of spreading rumours to his subscribers, that this was my approach, that I tricked him. That's offensive, man. It's offensive.
Yeah.
He's phrasing it in a way, Anne, to try and get me to agree to something.
Shaun, you know,
I'm not stupid.
You know, I can't hear you.
You can't hear him.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait.
I think if you take your headset off, and everybody will hear everybody.
No, what it is, I have to use my headset because that's the only way I can hear on this computer. There's no speaker on it. But what it is, the thing came out of the headphones, the lead. So go on, speak again, Shaun, just to check we can hear you.
You can hear me?
Can you hear me, Anne?
I can hear you now.
Okay, he's saying...
Shaun's very faint. I can hear him slightly. He's very faint.
See, the problem is because it's done over the headphones, it's going to be...
I'm making it clear for Shaun because it's really strange what he's doing now. He's saying he's worried about legal issues. But if he's telling the truth, he shouldn't be worried about legal issues.
Yeah, but it's the thing, Mohammed, isn't it, that it's like when someone is being questioned by the police. If I, let's say, was pulled by the police, I'd always turn around and say, even though I know I'm in the right, I'd be very, very careful and keep my mouth closed until I got legal.
You have the right to stay quiet, but he's not staying quiet. He's going on interviews, talking about the show and talking about me, and it's clear he's talking about. So he's not doing that. He's letting people know half a story, and I haven't said anything about Shaun. I haven't come out and said anything, but now he's done it twice.
So have you got a response to that, Shaun?
Yeah, and I worded it previously on True Geordie legalistically, so that there was no identification of a company or a person.
Well, he's just outed himself.
He's just outed himself.
A lot of my colleagues who contacted me.
He's just outed himself, Anne, on your channel right now. And everything I said on
wouldn't
True
play them
Geordie...
games, Shaun. I wouldn't play them games that I've outed myself. I can assure you, making things
everything
worse.
I said on True
You know what
Geordie...
you're doing.
Everything I said on True
Everybody told me
Geordie...
you've been talking about BNT and me. Anne knows you was talking about me, so your argument's forged straight away.
Everything I said...
You have spoken about me, and it's become clear to many people who how many shows were you on with a particular presenter, Shaun? None.
Everything I said
0.
on True Geordie, Callie Diamond has just confirmed exactly what I said on this conversation. So you've made a fool of yourself.
It doesn't mean anything, Shaun. I'm going to get everything confirmed with writing, with evidence. It doesn't mean anything to me that you've got Callie on the phone and she's saying things. I'm making it clear to you that what you're doing is out of order. You're spreading rumours, you're spreading untruths, and I'm asking you to stop doing it. I've rung Anne now, and I've asked you to stop doing it or make your position clear, what you're accusing me of.
It's the truth, and I'm not accusing you of anything. I've just expressed the exact conversation we had to Anne, and then it was confirmed by Callie Diamond, who heard that conversation. I've got a witness to it. I keep hearing this Callie Diamond thing, Anne.
I know it.
I've got a witness to it.
I don't understand what Shaun's saying. Is it dependent on Callie or something, or is Shaun making the accusation? I'm confused.
What is he's using Callie Diamond as a witness to what was said.
That's fine. So what is his accusation, Anne? What is his accusation
Again,
towards
he's
me?
trying to get me to make an accusation which would create a legal situation. I'm not going to fall for that trap.
So, did you get that, Mohammed?
No.
What he's saying is he's not going to make a statement that could lead to a legal action. So he's not going. In other words, he's not going to put his cards down on the table.
Right. So he's not going to retract the fact that by innuendo he suggested that I tricked him and asked him to do things, otherwise he couldn't get his job back, where he's never had a job anywhere else in the last 10 years regarding a platform. The only platform he's been on and worked on is brand new tube. And he seriously sat there thinking that isn't basically defaming brand new tube or me.
Got an
I think
answer,
he's got
Shaun?
a lawyer sat next to him and telling him to ask this and that, or he's got a list of questions from a lawyer, because he's just trying to trick me into legal situations.
So now he's actually said that I'm trying to trick him, and I'm speaking to him on the phone right now. So that's fine then, Shaun.
He's trying to get me to make
You don't need to go for innuendo now. Now you're telling me live that I'm trying to trick you when you're going around by innuendo talking about me and brand new tube, and now you're trying to say that I'm trying to trick you. So are you trying to trick your audience, Shaun, and your subscribers by speaking the way you're doing? Are you trying to trick them into thinking something about my platform or me? Is that what you're doing?
No, because I sent you a text recently, Mohammed, when I got deplatformed from YouTube, saying I'm 100% behind your platform. Saying I'm 100% behind your platform.
About it. You should be emailing me. You should be contacting me directly. Or if you're going to go on podcasts, you should be very clear about what you're saying and not be afraid to say the truth.
I had one situation with you that I said about on
Nobody's going to sue you for the truth unless it's something
I've had your back. I've had your back.
Stopped by a court.
I've had one situation with you. Other than that, I've completely had your back. I've got nothing bad to say about BNT. In fact, I recently texted you, and I'll read the text. This was the 23rd of July. Hi, Mohammed. If YouTube denies my termination appeal, I'm going to send the public over to BNT to watch the videos we've got over there. This whole thing about cyberbullying started with BNT trailer number 5. I also recently filmed 2 hours of David Icke on his island and have nowhere to place it. So as recently as the 23rd of July, Mohammed, I've totally treated you like a gentleman and I've supported BNT. So it's ludicrous for you to say I'm defaming you or BNT. I'm not. I had one situation with you where I felt I was tricked. I've said that on True Geordie. I didn't name your name, didn't name your company. I phrased it very carefully. And you've come on in here trying to trap me to say I'm accusing you of things when I'm not. There's just that one situation. That was the only problem I had with you. Apart from that, I love what you guys are doing on BNT, and I have no problem with BNT whatsoever.
Did you get that, Mohammed?
Has he finished that?
Yeah.
I got a bit of it. Sean, I'm going to repeat it again for you because it's quite long-winded. I put my neck on the line for you. I went out of my way to try and develop something on BNT with you on that show. All you've done in return for me, for my loyalty, for what I did for you, is you've come on 2 podcasts and suggested that I tricked you, that you had to say things you didn't really do, and that you were brought back on the podcast because of that. And all you're spreading about me and the platform is negativity, and you want me to be grateful for that.
Not at all.
And now you've said on 2 different occasions that I'm trying to trap you and trick you. I think your audience or anybody listening would definitely think that you're trying to spread negativity about me and the platform. So all I'm trying to clarify for Anne, and I've come on and said this to you now, crystal clear, Sean, you're banged out of order. I'm disappointed in you. You shouldn't be spreading these things. You know what our relationship was. You know what I went through, and you know what I tried to help you with. But as it escalated and things came out that we had absolutely no idea about, we had to make a decision. That's what I had to do.
So my problem with
and
you,
and I bear no grudges against you taking the name Attwood Unleashed. Please take it by all means, even though you know that I gave the title for your return. You obviously like the title. But you cannot, in my opinion, and I'm making it clear to you now, and it's up to you what you do after today, you cannot go around spreading these rumours. And you say I've outed myself. Well, okay, Sean, what are you going to do now in your brain that I've outed myself by you talking about me? Are you going to continue saying this stuff about me?
Mohammed, this is the day we close Daddygate and that whole saga. Anne and I have agreed to take all the final questions, and we're trying to put it behind us.
Because
And what did he say?
said that this podcast that we're doing now, it's going to be the final time Daddy Gates and all that's going to be spoken about, because I said to Sean, I said, let's do a live after the premiere we put on of the interview, so that people can get the answers that I never put out there, and it will be the last time that's discussed. So what Sean's saying, again, if I'm right, Sean, correct me, if I'm wrong, correct me, that you're not going to mention the situation with Mohammed again. So are you going to confirm that, Sean? Or
at this point in time, if everything settles down, I will have no need to mention the situation. But what's happened is certain channels have extracted clips from the interview I did with Sonia, which was something that I'd agreed to do with you, Mohammed. And those clips are being used against me, not just by trolls, but by a large podcaster used them recently, which forced me to have to explain myself all over again. Do you think I want to just keep focusing on this negativity? No way. I just want to get on with my mission. I'm sure we all do. And Mohammed, I don't have any problem with BNT. There was promises made that weren't kept, and that was the only problem I had with you. And I hope we can all move on from this.
My point, and Sean, I want you to, whatever bit of advice you can take from people, no matter who they are, it should. My advice to you is, if you're going to carry on down the road you're doing, it doesn't matter about subscribers, Sean. It doesn't matter if you have 1 million subscribers. You're just going to damage yourself. Little Anne's doing positive stuff. She's gone in a certain direction. She got stuck in certain things, in my opinion. That's up to Anne if she disagrees with me or not. But she's doing a great job, and she's moving forward. And you should be doing that and get past your mistakes in life, because everybody makes mistakes in life. It depends how serious they are. I'm not going beyond that, but the stuff that's going on out there, Sean, I'm not gonna get dragged into these things with other podcasters saying things about other people and this. It's all stupidity. A lot of it's stupidity, winding each other up for what? For subscribers? No. All I'm saying to Sean is, after today, I've come on, I've said my piece. If you continue saying what you're saying about me in the platform, then I'll look at the situation. But I think people should just, especially what's going on in the world today, get on with living your lives and trying to take care of yourself, your families, and earn a decent living and be good with people, and refute and criticise where necessary and bring people to account. There's no doubt that needs to be done, no matter who it is, me, any other platform. But just for the sake of subscribers, that some people behave the way they do, and Anne's already touched on this, it can damage people, it can harm people, it can affect people's lives, the mental state of mind. They can do strange things. That's what I think. Anyway, I think you should carry on. I think you're doing a good job. All the best to you all. I've clarified my situation, I believe.
Okay then, Mohammed. So it's thanks for hearing from you, and as I say, it won't be mentioned again. It won't be mentioned again.
Yeah, no problem. I have no issue with you, Anne. I have no issue about it. That's why I've come on, to make it absolutely clear. I have no issue with you, and I'm just trying to clarify the situation. I'm not here to say take action against you, Anne. You know what's gone on in the past and things like that. This is purely me clarifying it for you.
Okay then, Mohammed.
Thanks.
Okay, you take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that got interesting.
Yep. Anyway, let's look at some of these questions.
That got interesting. That got interesting now.
Yeah, none about Mohammed.
I just want to say one thing.
But he's gone, Shaun.
I know. I just want to say one thing. All I said was, on True Geordie was the conversation that he had with me. If I'd have made that up, there's no way Callie Diamond could have repeated that word for word on the show. Sure. Go back and listen. They'll hear exactly what went down.
Sure. Just let me say one thing, right? Callie Diamond said that I was turned away from a sex party. Callie Diamond said a lot. Would I, as a judge, believe a word out of Callie Diamond's mouth? No, I wouldn't. She's not a very credible witness.
She can be serious at times.
I'm just saying that maybe she can be serious. I mean, but at the same time, I wouldn't take her as a credible witness into any court case, because you'd be eaten alive. You'd be eaten alive. Anyway, let's ask someone ask some nice questions now, or not nice questions. Go on, Put Shaun on the roast. So what do they call in America when you roast people? Yeah, they roast them, don't you? Come on, start roasting Shaun, people. Come on.
I'm going to put my wig on in a minute.
I know you've got your cape, your royal cape behind you. So here we are. Wait a minute. Here we are. Here's one. Do you know what, this bleeding mouse is driving me mad? I got on you. Oh, what have I done?
Those Tech is on tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.
No, do you know what? Wait a minute, I've got something.
Sammy the Bull. My Sammy the Bull documentary is on Nat Geo channel Monday, 9 p.m. It's called How E Busted the Bull, and it features both of our ecstasy rings. So, Donna, everything will be explained in that documentary. Watch it. Sammy the Bull still to this day saying he wasn't even involved in his own ecstasy ring.
Here's one now. Why did... This is you. Set up GoFundMe for Callie when he knew she was an active sex worker with an active profile and therefore had an income.
Didn't we explain that one on the main video we did today? That people put like £1,000 a night and that kind of thing. It's like these bank robbers who say they're just going to rob a bank and retire and live happily ever after. Sex workers, most of them are living quiet, desperate lives of drug addiction and abuse, and she was actually homeless. So yeah, she had been on these websites over the years, and things had been posted, but she didn't have a pot to piss in, and Guildford Council asked me to put her up in here while they were trying to find her a house. That's the reality of her situation.
See, this is where I get you. Why didn't you just say to her, "Right, here's the money, go to your stepmother"? That's what I can't understand.
I didn't even know a stepmother existed at that point. I'd only just met her, remember.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. That after we spoke, well, what's this one? This one looks so good. Shaun, why do you bother with the conspiracy theory culture? Your initial vibe was around criminal subculture and criminal justice for survivors.
Because I'm a deep state undercover operative for the Illuminati.
Oh, that's it. You're not very good at it, are you? That you're confessing. You're not very good at it, are you?
I'm outing myself right now.
Yeah, let's see.
No, conspiracy theory culture. I read David Icke when I was in Max Security 2004. Another prisoner shoved his book under my door, and I read it was the 9/11 Alice in Wonderland one.
I've read that.
And I heard him on the radio on a show called Coast to Coast as well. So it was something that fascinated me was the 9/11 insider trading. And having that fascination, and then he was so thoroughly researched on some subjects, and people have laughed at him over many things, but lots of them have come true. We just filmed part 3 with him, so we're probably going to be putting that on Odyssey. I don't think the other guy's going to take it now that I was offering it to. We're going to put that on Odyssey, so I'm going to have a channel on Odyssey. It's just been set up. If you guys want to find my Odyssey stuff,
I tried reading this. I tried reading that book, another one you're talking about, Alice in Wonderland or whatever it is. I can't remember what it was, but I got through half it, and unless you're into that kind of world, and then yes, you understand all, because it's all very statistical, isn't it? It's all stats and all this business. So we got halfway through, and I thought, oh, I can't get anyway through. But I remember him when he was first, when he first came out saying he was the son of God, and the big upheaval. And at the time, I thought, oh, that's cruel the way, because people were really cutting into them, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. So this person's objected to my answer, saying the council would not phone Shaun Attwood to take in a vulnerable sex worker. Oh, please. So she had some kind of interactions with the various councils and the police, and they called here, and I spoke to them. It was the council. They said, we're trying to house her in some emergency situation because she's vulnerable to traffic or whatever it was. Can you house her for a few days? Yeah. I spoke to the council. Why do people find that unbelievable? The landlord letter, I paid the landlord the GoFundMe money. Anything else outside of that, why am I being held responsible? Do you have a video of me giving them a letter or giving them fake documentation? No. You've got trolls saying I've somehow, forged documents and handed them over. What's the proof?
I think what it is, for sure. Just let me clarify one thing. No, about this, the council wouldn't. I can assure you the council would. I work for the police, and we used to have to deal with homeless people and vulnerable women as well, who were looking for shelters. And people think it's just a matter of just go into a police station, and what it is, they'll do this. Do you know why they come into the police station? Because the council and the social service had fobbed them off to the police. Yeah. Because they weren't doing it. And we'd be stuck having to phone up all these places that are asking for funding, asking for donations, because they help women in dire circumstances. And I'm telling you now, it used to be, oh, no, we can't, no, we can't, no, we can't. So that's what happened. So I can assure you the council would phone someone up and say, can you house this person? And usually they'll say to the police, no, we can't. I mean, it is dire. There's no, people go on about help for women. There's limited help, but a woman has to be really desperate to go into that. There's nothing promised when she does it.
I mean, why would they make that up? And then Father Jack saying, the landlord said you gave the letter, Shaun. That's called hearsay. Why don't you say to the landlady or landlord, show us a video of him giving you the letter? Where is the proof? I think that you don't have any proof because it never happened.
Well, you see, it's been all, I say.
Am I a Freemason? Hold on a second.
Don't know whether I'm supposed to do a song and dance here. Oh, lovely. You Venetian.
Who are you? Who are you? Hey, brother. Who are you, brother?
Do you know this thing though about
M for the Masons.
Oh, you're walking right into it, aren't you? You're walking right into it, aren't you? But this thing, about Freemasonry, right? The Freemasons, they used to get this with the police, which was true actually. A lot of police officers were Freemasons, right? It was true. But people were always going on, oh yeah, the police are Freemasons. But actually now, they wouldn't be members of a lodge if they wanted to, rise up the ranks. But as I say, they don't need to be in a lodge to act like a lodge. They have their own lodges within the forces. They're not called lodges, but they actually are their own lodges, so they don't need it. I don't know, what are you supposed to do if you're free? This is what gets me, right. When people accuse of being no shills and Freemasons, all this, I've had to admit that I'm a shill and all this business. You really can't win with it, can you? Because no matter which way you turn, you're not going to win the conversation, are you? Because it's just but you're saying that because you're.
I've never been invited into the Freemasons or the Illuminati.
Well, I don't know. Do they exist, the Illuminati? That's the question. Do they exist? But let's see. I'm just looking for some.
Father Jackson, he said, she said. Come on, Father Jack. Drop the he said, she said. Where's the proof?
Hey, well, this is a good one, right?
It's actually a Venetian Joker's mask, and there's a famous DJ. What's his name? Oh, I can't remember now. A rave DJ.
Can I just point out about your mask, Shaun?
Yeah.
I feel compelled to say this. I must say, it's a cheap version of a Venetian mask.
That was €100. Shit.
Excuse me, being having an Italian background, right, on one side of the family, I can tell you now, I know what a genuine handmade wooden Venetian mask looks like. Here's a good one, Rob Baker. I know people who are Freemasons and they couldn't organise a wee up at a brewery, never mind run the shadow government. That's true. That is so true. It is. I think it's made out to be something more sinister than it ever is or ever was. So, Anthony, that's catching your eye?
Let's see. Serious question. Why don't you provide receipts when demand trolls to supply them?
Well, you did, didn't you?
What would anybody like receipts for? I'm happy to provide any receipts anyone would like. I'll send any receipts to Anne as a neutral party to examine. Anything to do with this, I can back it up.
Here's one right now. Oh, there we are. That's that one. But someone just asked someone, didn't you? Here we are. This is one that people have been asking me. Hey, well, why did you delete the video of Callie backing up your story? Lol, it was a crazy video. I'll tell you what happened.
You told me to.
I told you. This is what I'm putting up there. I told Shaun to delete that because, as I say, I do have a background in policing and you have to know about the law and stuff like that. And it was just not, in my mind, it wasn't a good move. It could be interpreted in many ways and not good ways. So it was me who actually said to Shaun, seriously consider taking that down because it doesn't look good. There's something easy about it. And so Shaun took it down. So that's what happened there. It wasn't that. Let's see, what's this one? Do you know why would the land? Anyway, well, we can't answer that because the landlord's not here to defend themselves. I mean, if you want a one side of the story, go to the American Podcaster or the Scottish Pussycat, then you can have one side of the story. But unless the landlord comes on here, it's no point.
People obsessed. Do you have evidence of the contract from the council? There should be a log and notes available. Do you think I'm going to go to the council and ask for a log of a phone call made to Callie whereby I was asked to house her here? I've got better things to do in my life. People are just obsessed with the nitty-gritty.
What it is, it's because things have been done on other channels, as you know, and they've been worded in a way and pulled across in a way that it looks to be factual what they're saying, but they're not getting the in-between story, what's happened. It's all one side. That's why people believe it. They're just getting the one side of it.
Yeah. I think we should probably wrap it up soon.
Yeah, so come on, people, start putting. If you want to, Shaun, carry on with some more.
Why would the landlord lie? Why would anyone lie? Why am I responsible for so many things that nobody's got any proof of? And they're not even things that I've done. The things other people have done that people are saying, I made this happen. I manufactured fake. What was it? They said I forged her documents or something so she could stay at that place. I did that. All I did was hand the money over from the GoFundMe.
Now, here's one that really makes me laugh, this Father Jack fella, right? The landlord would have no reason to lie. How do you know? How do you know they'd have no reason? Explain to me, do you personally know they'd have no reason to lie? I don't know. I'm not saying they did lie. I had questions myself. Everyone knows that. But don't forget, I was asked, first of all, by the partner, would I run with this? And I wouldn't. And the reason I wouldn't run with it, because it wasn't stark enough. And that's when me and you were at war with each other, wasn't it, Shaun? Yeah. And approached me, and I wouldn't use it. And the reason I wouldn't use it was I thought, oh, you're getting, there's no positive evidence here. It's all hearsay, most of it. So that's why I didn't use it. And the landlord would have no reason to lie. How do you know that? You don't know. You don't know.
Nias Took Books has asked, if I was you, Shaun, I'd take legal action against the streamers libeling you. I have taken legal action against the Scottish podcaster. Regarding the American and Scottish trolls, we don't know who they are. Even when they were asked, who are you? You know, they refused to answer. And they filed a copyright strike reverse claims with false names and addresses and phone numbers. Yeah. So we couldn't even find out who they were through those methods. So these are anonymous cowards who sit behind keyboards just putting false, perverted narratives together without putting their own identities on Front Street, because they've probably got shit to hide.
Well, what it is, Shaun, right, when you say about, the false details, that's what I try to point out to people when the American podcaster and the Scottish podcast is going on about, false copyright strikes. They weren't false copyright strikes. I know they weren't. And what happened was the American podcaster gave false details. And that's what actually caused a lot of trouble with him. Also with YouTube, that was one of the things, because he wasn't given true details over and it was causing problems for them. So it's not that, it was false. And this is the lies now, they twist everything. Because
Morello Peach has put, your minor charges with a 16-year-old girls in Arizona prove it was Wild Woman's son. You said you will provide these. Okay, if you're so interested, Morella Peach, you email me. My email address is on my website, and I will send you my conviction, and I will send you my case number, and you contact Arizona State, and you get all of the police paperwork and read it. Because if you enter Arizona jail with any crimes against kids, sexual crimes against girls, you are KOS, killed on sight. Right then and there, I would have been dealt with.
See,
so you obviously have no understanding of how things work to even say this bullshit. Those charges came about because my best mate's girlfriend's 16-year-old son bought weed on her phone, was one of them, and the other one was someone called her, he answered the phone, and he passed the phone to her, and she did a drug deal.
See, that's it, but they'll play on it, won't they? That's it. And it's in America. What's a minor, isn't it? It's much higher than over here, isn't it? 18, yeah. So higher than over here. But that's it. People will sort of, but I mean, it's still not a nice thing that, her son was buying.
It's not a nice thing. I'm not condoning that
it's
behavior.
Not that,
but you're trying to make. They were trying to make it something worse.
So and
the people trying to make it something worse are trying to make it something worse because they're embarrassed about their own convictions. Hence the McDonald's shit behind me. So don't even go there.
These when people are anonymous. That's it. You don't know what they're up to, and I'm sorry, don't know about the Scottish Pussycat podcaster because he's guarded. You can tell he's very, very intelligent, very wise, very cute. But the American one, you're telling me that he's not played especially when he's saying things like, calling Callie Diamond baby girl. You're telling me that when he gets in the bedroom, he doesn't. Oh yeah.
They say some real twisted stuff. And look at Chance's logo. It's some like kids pussycat thing, isn't it? Looks like.
So it can see how it can be twisted round and thrown back at them. But I was listening to that, the hot mic again. When I was making the video, and listening to him was so funny. It's just the way the Scottish pussycat and he's going on. Every second word is man, dude, and all this, and I thought, this is someone that and they call each other best friends.
Who
the
are
hell?
you? Who
Who
are
the
you?
hell? Who the hell has a best friend online that they've never met? Don't you have your best friends in real life? You don't have them online. I love him. I love him. You don't even know him. You've never seen. So how can you be best mates? It's
How
absolutely
did I
strange.
How did I hook up with Lady C? Is just question coming.
Yeah.
We have our connections.
Oh, and can we confirm it here, Sean? Which is good as you saying it in writing and putting your signature to it. Oh, next time you interview Lady C, I'm being asked along, aren't I? Go on, Sean. Say yes, 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 yes.
Well, there's no guarantee. That
Don't tell me there's no guarantee.
There's no guarantee I'm going to get a part 2 of her, but it would be delightful if you were to meet her at some point.
Oh, I'd like to meet. She most probably wouldn't because she'd be jealous of my beauty. She'd You laugh too strong when I say things like that. You do, sure. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Wait a minute. What was that? So your credibility. It's going a bit. Hey, well, let's just click on it.
I did not know that WW would do what he did. And that's all I can say on that case.
Sean, your credibility is solid. Oh, I thought you were saying sold your credibility. Sorry. Sean, your credibility is solid with those who know you. I want to get. Let's see.
Declan, it took 6 years of introspection in prison for me to reflect on my mistakes and become an activist. The activism started when I was in jail. My aunt smuggled my writing out of max security. So my blog actually started, John's Jail Journal, back in 2004. The YouTube channel started in 2007.
Let's see. Just on this one. Oh, here we go. Why did I tell you to remove the Cali video? Well, those that just explain that. It's because it didn't look right. In other words, it could be taken, like we've just been talking about the landlord and all that. You'll say one thing, it will be spun out of control. Same happened to me over the this. What was I can't even remember the name of it now. The Snoop Dogg and Dog's Right comment. That was on a game to me that was said. And all that I'm saying is it's news to me, Sean, that all rappers are, I don't know, in this case, mixed race Mexicans. I didn't know that. Apparently it's a racist insult slur to use a rapper's name now, even though the same person was calling himself a rapper's name and was making, as they going on like a 1970s bad stereotype of a African American. But that's what happens. That's why people will twist. You have to be careful. And I said to you, Sean, didn't I, that sometimes you can't see out of your own head. You can't see what other people might see. You can't see the danger coming round the corner.
What do you think motivates the Scottish and the American troll? Do you think they're working for people who are doing bad things to kids, or do you think they're working for the Scottish podcaster?
Well,
with the Scottish podcaster.
No,
or they have made an alliance.
No, what I think it is, I think it's too easy to put this allegation that what they're doing is are they out today because they're somehow trying to put you're off protecting kids. No, I don't believe that, because it's an easy allegation, and even though I don't like them, I'm annoyed with them. I think it's, you don't throw that allegation at them. And also, Sean, right, and I've got to ask you this, and to be balanced with that question, what children have you saved so far?
What children have I saved by what?
If they're stopping you, if these are people who do things with nasty children, they'd be out to stop someone who was genuinely exposing, you know, other people like them, if that was true, and saving children. So who have you exposed?
I think the most children I've saved is through my talks in the schools, because I've spoke to hundreds of thousands of kids, and the teachers tell me the effect that it has on them. And I've had messages from kids years later saying, because of your talk, I didn't go down this path. They might not have died, they might have got on drugs, they might have ended up in prison. I don't know what I saved them from specifically, but I think in trying to restore my karma from the harm I caused to society by putting people on the road of drug use, I think that the most karma I've restored is by doing the talks to the kids in the drugs education. Because I get all the feedback from some of them, and I hear how it's affecting them.
I think what it is with there's question marks over the Scottish Pussycat. Definitely, as I've said before, that just spewed up, came into creation, all of a sudden ready-made to run, just at the most opportune time for the Scottish podcaster. But as for the American podcaster, I think what it was, he's just, how can I say this? He's not very bright. In other words, who was the one that lost his channel? It was him. Now who's got his channel? The Scottish Pussycat is sitting there fine with his channel, isn't he, rubbing his hands when the American lost his with coming out with all the hate speech and all that. So it looks like me that the Scottish Pussycat was using the American podcast to keep them sweet and letting him come out with all the rubbish, and all the hate and all this business.
So many of my trolls are out of Scotland these days.
Well, this is what so am I, Shaun.
I think they have monthly meetings at McDonald's.
How can they all be? How can they all be from Scotland? The vast majority of them are from Scotland.
There's a force out of Scotland trying to take me down.
And this is a good one. The American podcaster was a manly part and just hated you so he could make money. Now, there's the thing in this. There is money to be made out of slating you, Shaun. There is, but again, I don't think...
Mr. Clickbait.
Was he monsterised though? I don't think he was he?
Remember when on the hot mic moment they were like patting each other on the back for getting like $20 that month?
Oh yeah.
These are just small time hustlers. That's what they are. Small time scam artist hustlers, probably pedo enablers, because the people are projecting on innocent people have always got something to hide, and they won't put their names out there. God knows what convictions they've got.
Yeah, that's it. This is what I say, because they're so scared. Why are they scared? Why are they scared to put the face out there? And you hear this rubbish, right? Oh, well, it's because I might get in trouble, because I'm releasing. What was it the American podcaster said? He said that it was because he was talking about all these dangerous conspiracies. Where? This is what gets me. Would you still be walking around now if it was so dangerous? No, it's just that the cowardly little keyboard warriors, and that's the end of it. How far right do you care? What's this one? After Jack London, the far right do not care about your online. All you do is sit in your rooms making. Oh, I don't even know what that's going on about. Silly person, whoever he is. Is this really you, Shaun?
What?
That's Rich coming from Skinsville.
Did you see what Skinsville asked me?
No.
So Shaun's not on YouTube to make money. It's a double. There's like multiple double entendres here.
Yeah.
His name is Skinsville, and I responded, "That's Rich."
I get it.
Bit of banter.
What's this one? Let's see. I have to click on them before they go.
There's an account now called BuzzTech and Shaun.
Oh, I know. Well, there are a lot of people that say that are going to be really peeved with you getting together with him. What is it about girls who are addicts? Oh no. Well, let your answer there. Here we go. What is this about girls who are addicts? You like they are easy to manipulate and control, like Carly did give you that answer to.
So, Father Jack, these perversions are in your mind. In your mind, you're seeing this evil person feasting on, what was the question? Addicted girls who are easy to manipulate and control. This is all coming from your brain. You're projecting this onto me. I think you need to look in the mirror.
Now here's one. I'm just putting this up. I know you most probably won't want to discuss this, but it's no point. But I'm putting it up there for fairness. Oh no, Westminster. I've got thrown one. There we go. But this is the one you're talking about. BuzzTech and Shaun's teaming up to do police audits. And that's shown by him, BuzzTech teaming up when BuzzTech said, well, they're making an allegation against BuzzTech. But put up there. But oh yeah, I think you're going to get a lot of feedback from that, Sean. I do. But I don't know who's deflecting.
It doesn't matter what I say. I'm either deflecting or I'm covering something up. Even if I prove them all wrong, like when they said I lived on the ground floor and I dropped the watermelon off the balcony to prove I was on the second floor, they said I'd gone in my neighbour's apartment and dropped the melon off my neighbour's apartment. It doesn't matter what I say, and there are genuinely concerned people out there, which is why I'm doing this today, to answer their questions. But there's an element of people that have arrived in the chat now. It doesn't matter what answer I give. They're going to just write it off and come back with something else, or say I'm lying or something else. And these people will never accept the truth.
No, the thing is, Sean, right, and I learned this years ago, many years ago, and that's why I'm more laid back about it. I always said I don't care what people say about me, because I always got rumours flying around me. Like when I was in the police, there was all kinds of really mad strange that I was some kind of plant there because I seemed to appear from nowhere, that I was apparently I was having a great time with these senior chiefs. Oh my god, it's amazing I could walk straight, that we were having that wonderful time. And you get this. So I used to just keep my mouth shut. I think, what's the point? How do you respond to that? One was that when I had a heart attack, that I was possessed and all this business, and it's like you can't respond to nonsense like that.
You can't. They just endlessly come at you and just try and wear you out mentally.
Yeah.
And it completely takes away from the work that you're trying to do.
What's this one? Sean, can you try and interview the Irish girl from the Peru?
I am in touch with the Scottish girl.
Who's that?
And I have. This is the Peru too. It was a big case. They were mules who got busted in Peru. They were an English and a Scottish and an Irish. Yeah, it was a big case. It was a big case.
This would be a good idea for people to say who you'd like to Sean to interview, or give them suggestions that you'd like to interview with anyone else. That would be interesting. Can you hear Bonzo? He's starting this business again. Here we are. I want your attention. Here we go. Here we are. I'm not putting those questions up. Look, Father Jack, you've had your time. Right? Ask.
Oh yeah, it's 5 o'clock. We're gonna have to roll on.
Yeah.
Get some
if you're going to ask the same old crap, there's no point. Here we are. Angela Power Disney. 10 quid per 1,000 for you.
Oh, Angie's in the chat.
Angela Power Disney. Oh, do you know Angela?
I think she's done some stuff with John Wedger, hasn't she, in the past?
Spoken about him, yeah.
Okay.
Wrong yes. One. Angela's into this, all sorts. I agree with some things she says. I don't agree with a lot of things she says. We don't agree with each other, but we keep it amicable. That's what I like about Angie. You can, she can be great fun behind the scenes.
Do you think, and we've got to wrap this up, do you think there's anything that's not been addressed now on Daddy-Kate? Any sensible questions? And
I think
people out there who are concerned, we've got to wrap this up now. You're welcome to email me if you are a genuine person, but I can't just keep going round and round in circles with trolls. It's just debilitating.
See, this is what happened. We're getting the same, like that Father Jack. It's just the same old thing that's being asked again and again.
Garbage.
Another one asking about WW. We can't discuss that. Well, you can't discuss it because you'll be in trouble. But here we are. It's just they're the same things, and that's why I said. Remember I said at the end of one, you can apologise as many times as you want, Sean. You never go and apologise to them because some people don't want to hear it. Yeah. They want in there, and this is what I can't understand. You can't move forward, and even say that you did move forward, and it came out like some of them are trying to say that that was all an act on your behalf, that you weren't trying to change. Well, that you deal with that as it happens. You deal with it as it happens, but you have to give people a chance, or else what's the point? I'd expect someone to give me a chance if I messed up. I'd say, just give me a chance.
I like that quote that BP just put in the chat from Beanie Paris. If you argue with a fool, people wonder who is the fool.
Yeah, that's true, that.
Yeah.
But it's true. So anyway, we're going to wind this up now, Sean.
Well, again, I appreciate and the opportunity to like address
Anytime.
genuine people who are concerned.
Yeah.
And again, to anyone who was offended by the prank, I do apologise. It was distasteful. I am human. I made a mistake. I've tried to make amends, and I've moved on. And the channel is still standing despite all the threats to it we've had in recent months. And we are going to continue to do our thing and to help people however we can and to expose certain things, but within YouTube's guidelines. And I really appreciate the opportunity YouTube provides because it is the biggest platform out there.
Oh yeah.
And you know, it's a life-changing thing for not just for me, but some of the podcast guests have said it's changed their lives as well. So huge thank you to all the supporters who've watched this today on Ann's channel. And you know, hopefully have a great rest of your Sunday and get some Sunday roast down you.
Oh, I've got to do some clean up. I've got a thing in an asbestos inspection tomorrow. So I've got that to deal with. So anyway, thanks for that, Shaun. Thank you all, me lovelies. It's been wonderful speaking to you. And so, till next time, Shaun, whenever that next time arrives. Bye-bye for now.
Toodaloo, everyone. Take care out there. Cheers. From